YouTube, it's me. I'm back for my comics review for the month of July. So this is a little bit late. I've been waylaid with everything lately, mostly with work and stuff like that, but also just with life. But pretty typical month. First up, the latest issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 129, I think. 130. Sorry, 130. In this one, the Turtles and the Punk Frogs are in the middle of a battle when all of a sudden this big explosion happens and kind of scatters everybody. And Mikey goes chasing off after one of the Punk Frogs, Genghis Frog, and says, "Wait, let's not fight. Let's just talk this out and figure out just exactly what happened here, right?" So Genghis is kind of receptive to Mikey's comments, but he still screws off. In the meantime, there's still a big battle going on with some of the weird mutants that little rat doctor, I forget his name, was experimenting on, and they're still going after the turtles, so there's still a fight going on. But eventually they get Venus actually helps win that battle and blast those guys. And after that, Genghis Frog, who Venus used to be his girlfriend Bonnie before she was changed, so Genghis and Donnie kind of have a tug of war between her, saying, "No, come with us, come with us, come with us." And she's like, "I don't want to go with either." And she kind of screws off and meets up with one of the other mutant town guys who is kind of like her, and so he kind of takes her under his wing. Finally, though, the rest of them catch up to this explosion, and they find that it is Siri, the Regenta of the Triceratons, who had escaped from the attacks of the Utroms from her planet, whatever, and was seeking out the turtles. So she crashes, and they're like, "Whoa, who are you?" And then it kind of ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. Well, not really a cliffhanger, but the little rat doctor, the bad guy, we find him still alive and scurrying out of all the wreckage of his office and everything that got blown up, and he's got a bag of Donnie's blood. So he's obviously going to get up to some nefarious activity with it. We'll just have to wait and find out what. Okay, next up, as usual, is Transformers, and we have 3 issues today. First is number 17 of the Beast Wars, and this is actually the final issue of this run of Beast Wars. So, as it's kicking off, the Maximals and Predacons are working together to fight against the Vok and the Vok's Stooges, which look like other Transformers, just like the Predacons and the Maximals. And so Optimus Prime is trying the whole time to turn Tigatron and his charges to their side and say the Vok are just using you, blah 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 blah. The battle just rages on, and they don't believe him. They don't buy into it. Meanwhile, Waspinator and Rat Trap are on the Axelon, coming up with some sort of weapon or system on the ship that they're going to use to hopefully influence the outcome of the battle that is raging outside the ship. And eventually, during the battle, the Vok show up, and they do indeed turn on their puppets, and they're like, "What? How can you do this to us? What the hell?" And after that, Rat Trap and Waspinator come through with the Ark and take out the Vok and save the day and set everybody to rights. And they also kind of transport Megatron to some, I don't know if it's another time or a pocket dimension or something like that, but he's out of the equation, at least somewhat long-term, temporary sort of thing. So in the end, they're kind of just the Maximals are with Black Arachnia and Waspinator and the rest of the Predacons that are left, saying "Do you want to come with us back to Cybertron? I'm sure we can, put in a good word for you for how you helped us, beat the Vok and send Megatron away to reduce your sentence," that kind of thing. But they choose to stay on the planet while the Maximals all take off in their ships, sort of thing. So that's how it ends. And they have a little write-up at the end saying, "Well, this is it for now." So I'm thinking there's going to be a reboot of the storyline a little ways after this, and that keeps it going at some point. But we'll have to wait and see. Next up is the second issue of The Last Bot Standing, this kind of weird new series. And in it, Rodimus is approached by Shib, the human or whatever they are, what kind of creatures they are. And he talks to Rodimus about why he's there, what he's going on. But he's having all these flashbacks to Decepticon and Autobots fighting and a bunch of stuff. And nothing can be really made sense of it. In the meantime, there's this little rabbit robot, which I think I mentioned last time because that's how that one ended, with kind of just this introduction to this character. And he's doing the bidding of some other Transformers led by Steeljaw, and they kind of treat him like shit, but his name is Moon. And eventually what happens is the humans find Rodimus and talk to Shib and say, well, we need to take this robot into custody and question him and whatever. So meanwhile, Rodimus could crush them all with a stomp of his foot, but he agrees to go willingly and not try and escape and play along with it, right? But in the meantime, Steeljaw and all of his bots discover that Rodimus is on the planet, and they're like, whoa, like an old Transformer, like, oh, this is crazy. And they're trying to, like, they take him back to their camp, and they're like, where they're creating biofuel for to stay alive and build resources and stuff like that. And they're like, they kind of want him on their side and stuff, but Rodimus is having all these weird reactions to what they're saying and visions and stuff like that. And in the end, they're like, bring out dinner. And it's Shib that one of the robots has in his hand. So then Rodimus is like, oh, okay. And that's how it kind of ends, on a bit of a cliffhanger there. They're going to eat Shib or whatever they're going to do. So last up, a one-shot of the current ongoing Transformers series, and it's dubbed The Fate of Cybertron. So this is also the end of this long-going Transformers series, not just the shorter Beast Wars one. This has been going on a while. So basically, Megatron and Prime come to blows as the Autobots are trying to escape to Darkmount and get everybody off planet. But the Decepticons are kind of making it like, no, Megatron and Optimus are fighting one-on-one. Nobody can interfere because Skywarp is in the area with an imploder, which is like some sort of device that can cause major damage and stuff like that. So they can't do anything until they deal with Skywarp and his imploder. So what happens is Computron, the big combiner bot, is dropped in to distract them all. And in the meantime, Jumpstream, who can also kind of warp like Skywarp does, shows up and kind of is like yoink with Skywarp and his imploder and takes him away. So now Prime can engage Megatron and there can be a big battle. So a big fracas brews up, and it's tons of people are involved. A couple combiners. Computron takes on Devastator in a big battle. And eventually the Autobots escape and get to Darkmount, but they know that the Decepticons are going to be following them, and they're not going to just let them leave the planet. So it's kind of a race to finish preparations, make sure everything's good, get everybody loaded, and get the hell out. And in the end, they do. And the last thing we see is Cosmos and another robot, I forget who it is, kind of welcoming the Autobots home as the Ark kind of comes into view above the planet or whatever it is. And again, there's a write-up like, this is the end at the end of that issue. So that series has been going on for quite a while now. I didn't realize it was going to end now. But we will see what, obviously they're going to keep some sort of ongoing series going. So I can't wait to see what the next phase brings.